So right now I'm still putting all the pieces together for my next Dokkan upload, but I did actually want to talk about this as Legends is a game that I really enjoyed in the past. I'm pretty much an ex-Legends player. Here and there I do join back on, play for a bit, at best you could say I was more of a casual player, but I did enjoy the game a lot, and this 7th anniversary was actually something I've been really excited for, as they've been hyping up the 7th anniversary for a very long time. They've been telling us, oh, this is gonna be a super anniversary, this is gonna be amazing. And I did like the 6th anniversary. From what I saw and what I experienced a little bit, the mechanic was interesting with the fusing tag Gogeta and Vegito cards, right? And I think that those choices as characters are obviously very popular. I think they did a great job with that, right? And that's kind of the main point, is that they're like the part one characters. They're the characters that set the tone for the rest of the celebration, right? But then we go ahead and talk about the 7th anniversary here, and I'm actually a bit disappointed. And I just feel like expressing my thoughts here again. I'm not gonna say I'm like into like Legends meta, or that I'm even like a representatives of like the Legend community anyway. I just feel like talking about how I feel as someone who was looking forward to playing Legends again, and as someone who, enjoyed a lot of Legends in the past. Someone who enjoys, even like turn-based combat, or like, just I play Dokkan very frequently, and I have a lot of friends that play Legends very frequently as well. So I do know things here and there, but I just want to say, I'm not like some expert or anything, right? So if I say something stupid, that's probably because I'm not like mega knowledgeable in the game in its current like time frame right now. But stuff like this is really cool, right? Like you use UI Goku and Blue Evolution Vegeta kind of artwork from Torotaro. I think this is really cool, and it's not like the choices for Ultra Instinct Goku and Blue Evolution Vegeta are bad choices. I think they are premium hype characters. I mean, in terms of the anime, which is what most people consume and are aware of, these are the strongest forms for Goku and Vegeta respectively, right? And we know that they can't really dive into manga stuff from what it seems, or else they 100% would have. Like, this would have been like Ultra Ego Vegeta if they could have, like 100%, right? And there is like the Legends original kind of cards. Maybe something like this, like a tag character, could have been really interesting. As you guys may have known, the leak came out a few days ago for the UI Goku and Blue Evolution Vegeta kind of ad that people went and found. They deleted that, and a lot of people were thinking, hey, this was going to be just intentional, like this another UI Goku leak, just intentional, and they're actually hiding something for the end. And I think that did also set some people's expectations even higher than it should have been, because there are some people who are thinking, hey, maybe there's like going to be some secret extra ultra hidden at the end, but that was not the case. And I should bring up one of the images that I was looking at here. Like, this is basically the Legend 7th anniversary right here. So we see Super Saiyan 2 Kaba anniversary headliner, Super Saiyan 2 Kaba, Blue Evolution Vegeta, UI Goku, and then tag Caulifla and Kale. And yeah, actually this is the tweet I was talking about. Again, I was genuinely excited to play Legends for a while, see some new cool mechanics, or maybe multiple teams that could be buffed. Because the thing about Legends a lot is, or at least, I'm not sure if it's the case necessarily right now, I've heard that, Daima's kind of running things, but I think anniversaries and large celebrations where they introduce multiple LS, multiple banner units, multiple characters within the span of a month time frame, it's kind of a thing of, hey, this is where they could really shake things up, introduce a lot of different choices, kind of make gameplay more, how do I explain it? More, I guess, intriguing, more interactive, new mechanics like that, right? But from what I've seen, I mean, UI Goku looks toxic, right? With like some of the counters and stuff that he has. I'm not sure exactly how they work. Blue Evolution, I saw, has a unique gauge that's kind of like an evolving unique gauge, which on paper sounds cool, but realistically, it's just a unique gauge, right? I think he will activate those buffs multiple times, and he'll stack up those buffs, but it's not something that feels new. It kind of feels like something that they're slapping a label on and calling it quote unquote new, when it's not really new, right? It's kind of like costume changes in Dokkan in a sense, where it's like, oh, here's costume changes, but they're pretty much a glorified transformation. Like that Dokkan, introduced that one time for, I think like a Videl card had it, a Krillin and Gohan card, like when they changed into the suits on Namek. I say suits, the same armor on Namek, right? But like it doesn't feel like there's anything drastically different in an intriguing way to kind of shake things up. And the second point I have here is this is just basically, I mean, you could say it's multiple teams like Saiyans or Universe Reps, but pretty much this looks like Universe Reps, right? And that's one thing I'm kind of also makes me uninterested, because it's like, I feel like what Legends used to do really well in the past is make it so that when they introduce a bunch of these different like characters in an anniversary, like they not only will have interesting new mechanics, but they have a lot of characters from different tags, and it's like they help different teams and make other setups relevant where you could use other characters and spice things up. This feels like a drop where it's like, okay, well, instead of just Daima in PvP, I'm gonna see Daima on Universe Reps. And it's like, doesn't change things up in a way that I feel like, oh, now we're gonna see multiple different teams, and people will be trying out a lot of different things, right? Because in a PvP game like this, people are going to be using what characters are the best, and I'm going to assume that these characters are going to be really good. I've heard UI Goku's absolutely broken, but it's just not a thing that like interests me personally. Like as someone who's looking from the outside, interested in joining back in the game, I think the one benefit could be, oh, if you're a newer player or if you're coming back to the game, you could start off with a really strong team. I think might be the idea behind this, where it's like, okay, you could just hop in, you summon on this on these two banners, and then you're getting like a very powerful just team right off the bat. I think that is a good idea in itself, but it's also in a sense where you can think about it from, this is where I'm saying what a lot of other people are saying, it doesn't shake up the meta itself in a drastic way to where, okay, now there's also the fact of, what's the word I was going to say? Like, you're only going to be facing two teams, like, especially when you get higher up in PvP. And for existing players that have been playing for a while and are interested in shaking things up, it's like, doesn't really do that, right? It does not accomplish that. So, I don't know. It's unfortunate. Then obviously, I think there's one issue people have with the animations, which is the fact that apparently these animations, some of them are just reused, which I don't understand. Like, okay, cutting corners in places is fine, right? Especially if it's going to be an anniversary that they're going to go all out for in a bunch of different aspects, right? And it's a thing of, okay, because what if they're doing like 7 characters during this anniversary? It's like, there's going to be some corners where things may not look perfect. Not every character is going to have the best animations. I mean, I could even reference the Dokkan 10th anniversary for that. They released 6 different characters. Not every animation there is gold standard top tier in every single spot. And with the game like Legends, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if I could say that. Like, what game takes more to really like make the animations for, Dokkan or Legends? That's something I'm not like. Even with Dokkan, I couldn't really say too much about like, as someone who's not like an animator or anything like that, I can't really say too much like, how much time these things take, but I know they do take a while. I just don't know like if Legends would be more complicated or not with the models. Either way, I feel at the same time, your headliner characters should especially be the ones put with extra care into it. And there's the thing that they don't have new models. I think that's something that is a bit disappointing, where it's a new fresh coat of paint. It makes things feel exciting and makes people actually see something new. The banner units got new models, which is cool, but I feel like the main characters should have been the ones that would have gotten the new models, right? Because I mean, obviously, this is, I see a lot of people, saying, oh, they've done kind of this multiple times, but in reality, this is actually only the second UI Goku and Dokkan. I said Dokkan, and I'm saying Dokkan. In Legends, right? We had a bunch of UI Sign Gokus. But there's the red Ultra Instinct Goku, and then there's this Ultra Instinct Goku, right? This is the second one. For Blue Evolution Vegeta, there's the yellow Blue Evolution Vegeta, and then there's this guy, right? This is the first time that these guys are getting a redo. So I don't know if they felt like, oh, we didn't really need to make a new model for them because it's a redo, but this is the 7th anniversary. Like, if you want to say that for, like, I don't know, some random monthly, like, character that would release, I think that makes a lot of sense. But this is, again, 7th anniversary, right? And even though I'm not someone who religiously plays Legends, like, if it's something that you want to hype the game up for, even just from a marketing standpoint, like, wouldn't you want things to look super new and fresh? It's something I don't really get personally with these characters. And reusing animations will, like, in multiple different spots as what I've seen. I'm sure you guys have seen the screenshot of, like, Goku with the same, poses like Turles or things like that. I don't know. It's really interesting. It almost feels like, again, how Legends seemingly works is that they will drop like two LFs, and then an Ultra at the end. Like, are they stockpiling all into the Ultra at the end? Probably, right? But the thing about that is, if they're just like stockpiling to the Ultra at the end, then it's not gonna, the celebration itself is not gonna have a good tone set throughout the entire celebration. It's gonna feel nice when the Ultra comes out and they're super cool looking and awesome, but then when people look back at the celebration, they're gonna be like, right? Just as a general whole, they're gonna be like, the Ultra was cool, but during the celebration, it's kind of whatever to a lot of people, right? And for people who are interested in rejoining the game, like me, I'm just kind of feel like, And then by the time the Ultra comes out, I just won't really feel too invested in even like getting back in there, because it's like, well, it's whatever, right? If I was like roped into part 1 where everything starts and I'm getting all the CC during the celebration and things like that. But now if it's like at the end of the celebration, like I missed out on all the CC, I missed out on a bunch of like, whatever raids that they do or things that they drop. And I'm kind of like, I don't feel like playing at this point, right? Here's another example that Ziad brought up, and this is the thing where I can kind of feel better talking about this. 7th anniversary Dokkan is an example of a good form of the celebration, because even though it is just fusing / transforming characters, which we have seen in the game prior, this not only are, I think, very exciting characters. This is the first LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. This is basically the first kind of time we've seen Gogeta with the sphere. Like, they brought new animations, things we haven't seen in the game yet for the 7th anniversary. On top of this, they brought a new meta for Dokkan with the additional leader skill increases. And these guys even had some new mechanics in their kit, such as what's called an action break, where you break an action from the enemy, and it brought basically a new shift in Dokkan power with these guys. And that was really cool, right? It had that feeling with it. Even if these characters were UI Goku and Blue Evolution Vegeta, they would have still evoked a very similar feeling to that. Well, I think it's not necessarily the character choice even. Again, I think it's just what they bring to the table. It doesn't really make it feel like it's something new and a huge shift, right? And someone is, why wasn't the 7th anniversary just 6 units instead? And it's like, yeah, because like if it was the 6th anniversary characters here, it would be the first time that there would be the, I believe it's called the synchro gauge, right? With the fusing mechanic. Like, that is something that's like, oh, that's brand new. We haven't had something like that before. That's really cool. These guys don't have something like that, right? So, there's a schedule here, which is really cool. I just feel like bringing it up, I guess, you know. I mean, triple times summoning. I was around when that was out initially, and that was crazy. So, at the very least, when you summon, you're going to be getting crazy luck. That's our triple times Z Awakening power as well. I believe, I don't know if it's just the rates. It's 3 times Z power. It's not the rates up, but still 3 times Z power is incredible. Right? And this is the first time that they've actually brought this back, so it's really good. There's a lot of free summons. There's, you know, the upgrade bonanza, but it's like, okay, all this stuff going on is really cool, but why would I want to play? Like, actually ropes me in to play so that I feel like actually doing all of this stuff. And of course, Crash is like pretty much like the big YouTuber for Legends, like him, Ryuden are like the 2 biggest ones that come to mind, you know. Obviously I see also Slaybix, Nano, Iron, you know, ZVG. There's a lot of creators out there. Dugo, right? It's like there's a lot of people that I see talk about this stuff on the timeline as well. And I brought up Gresh's tweet because just a good general summary. Pros, good character announcements, Mega Bonanza celebration with Ultra Bonanzas. Again, I've been around with these Bonanzas. Really awesome. Goku Frieza unique equipment, which is something that Dokkan should do, by the way, like, you know, with these equipments. But unique equipments are basically another form of like an EZA or a Zenkai. It basically seems like now. And it really helps characters become relevant with how powerful they make those unique equipments from what I see. So like a Goku Frieza unique equipment is really cool because I think they did a good job with that LF actually. I do like that card. I used them when they originally came out as well. LF Revel UI Saiyan Goku Zenkai. I actually didn't really use this guy that much. So I was like kind of an area where I wasn't really playing the game. But that's just an exciting character, and from what I see, the general reception of that character is that people like him. So, you know, that's cool. Zenkai for him is cool. 3 times Z power, of course. Then the cons right here is basically a lot of what I'm saying. No new mechanic. Oh yeah, there's the app update. So there's like a whole app update for Legends, which is another part of them hyping things up. And it's like, oh, we need to have like, what is it? Was it like 3 times the RAM? And they made like a major overhaul to how the game looks and everything like that. And then they didn't introduce anything new at the start. Where it's like, okay, this is why we're doing this, to take advantage of it. No, nope, actually, no, nope. Wait for Pride 3? I don't know. Extremely underwhelming for what was built up to be the biggest celebration of all time. Yeah, because a lot of the stuff that's revealed, like besides the 3 times Z power, feels like standard. Like, oh yeah, I would expect a lot of this for like an anniversary celebration, but like for the best ever anniversary celebration, you know, there's the leak, way too long. It was like 50 minutes. Everything else, it's, yeah. I have a few extra treats. This is Iron King crashing out, and obviously, you know, I just wanted to get like Iron King in here. This specifically, like his reaction to Garash saying like
regardless of how you feel, it's the most unnecessarily long Legend video ever. Oh my god, he said
Iron King is a gem, dude. Oh my goodness. It's just, yeah. I mean, Garash is someone who usually, I feel like, looks at things with a positive outlook compared to a lot of this community, like the Dragon Ball community in general. It's tough when you see someone like that. There's also this. AI was used for marketing. I mean, you could very clearly tell a lot of these buildings are look very odd. The people there are definitely people. Yep. Look at this building right here. This building just phasing into the other one. You know, just normal things that happen in real life. Things like that, you know. These buildings, like a very interesting construction, you know, like how they phase into each other, like a mega apartment or something. Yeah. And these people definitely exist. That's, this guy's face is fucked up. That's, hope. Nah, just, it's crazy. Like, you know, this is probably not going to matter to a lot of people. A lot of people actually just won't give a fuck about this. This is something that I feel like it's not a Legends thing. It's actually a Bandai thing. Obviously, Bandai's in control, like what's marketed. It's a thing of, well, personally, I obviously would not be a fan of like generative AI or anything like that. And it's very sad to see a lot of companies actually go into this, especially multi-billion-dollar companies like Bandai. Multi-billion-dollar companies like Bandai, right? Obviously, they're a company that's gonna squeeze profits as much as possible so that they could buy their 19th Ferrari. I know, like, Mr. Bandai needs to get like his 14th yacht, right? So it's things have to be cut off, you know. Yeah, that team of artists cooked. You're gone, buddy. Sorry. You know, it's just very disgusting, and it's just like soulless, and it kind of also, in a sense, represents a lot of the feeling people are feeling about this, where it's kind of like a whatever. It's like not really soulless, but how much love was put into this? Like, it's a good question. I'm sure the people working on it did do a good job, right, with what they're aiming to do, right? I just feel like more so from the executives, obviously, right? I think the people who do the work, they're fine. I don't blame them, because at the end of the day, they just do what they're told to do. The decisions aren't made by the people actually making the content like this, right? It's people who decide to do shit like this. You know, Legends made 163 million US dollars last year. Awesome, but they can't hire a couple of artists, or, you know, something like this is really awesome. This is super cool for the Ultra Blue Vegito. This is sick. This is so cool. And there's a live orchestra with the UI signed Goku here. This was so cool. This was like, oh, this is real. And UI Sign is obviously a great character to do this for. Like, stuff like this is, oh wait, this is copyrighted. It's so cool, and it's so unique, and it's stuff that you don't really see even a lot of other games do. And that's another thing with Legends. I think they're very innovative when it came to like making new mechanics and things like that. I don't know if like executives are just like stringing like them, and they're like, no, you know, and they're like, sorry, I need my 3% extra revenue, right? Couldn't even make something interesting. Just a bunch of people looking at a building. Like, this is, like, realistically, this is a boring ass ad. But on top of that, it's soulless. And that's why it's boring and soulless, because there's no human emotion put in there. There's no thought put in there. They're just like, I accidentally muted Issa. It's just like, let's see, man standing and looking at Vegito. I don't know, ad prompt, like that's literally that's literally what they do. They're like some it's so cool, guys. So I just made this. It's not new, obviously. Yeah, when you can save, doesn't matter when you can save up on artists or others and make more and more money. Capitalism is a plague. Yeah, I mean, I do agree. Companies save money wherever they can. It's not that big of a deal. I think it's a big deal, personally. Like, I don't really find an excuse for it. I know the reason why they're doing it. Duh. But it's just so saddening to see. Anyways, I don't know, this kind of became into a rant about AI, how I hate AI realistically as well. But also, it's just kind of disappointment from someone who I was genuinely excited, you know? And I think I want to end things off. If you are enjoying everything that was revealed, you're excited, I'm so happy for you. Because at the end of the day, You should be excited for what you are excited for. Don't let anything I'm saying, like, I don't even fucking play the game realistically. So why would you care if like whatever I'm saying determines how you feel, right? It shouldn't realistically. Have your own opinions, but this is just my thoughts, and I feel like, I don't know, just talking about it, and seeing what you guys think as well. You know, I'm sure a lot of you guys do play Legends as well. It's a Dragon Ball community. There's a lot of overlap. Maybe some Legends players, you know, watch this video. Maybe they think I'm stupid as hell. I don't even care anymore, realistically. I'm just gonna end the video. So let me know what you guys are thinking. Thanks y'all for watching and just hearing me just talk. And I'll catch you guys next time.